I've mentioned before in a few videos my top 5 favorite paleo cookbooks and my top 5 favorite autoimmune paleo cookbooks. And when I did those, a few of you had asked to see a rundown of all of my cookbooks. So that's what I'm going to do today. I just got done editing this video and realized it was 20 minutes. So all I'm going to show you is the stuff that I have in my kitchen, which is the regular rotation of cookbooks that we use on a daily or weekly basis. All of the books that are in my kitchen have to have at least one recipe that we use on a weekly or regular basis. I have a full office full of stuff that I'm going to cut out of this video, but if you really want to see all of the cookbooks that I have in there, which are mainly like paleo cookbooks that we don't use on a regular basis, and some of the other books that I got pre-paleo, like some Martha Stewart books and some things that I use for inspiration or to help me try to figure out how to paleoize a recipe or something like that. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see that. Otherwise, I'm just going to go straight to showing you what's in my kitchen. The first one I have out is the Paleo Cupboard by Amy Densmore. I don't typically use this one a lot, but I am making the pasta bolognese in here this week because we have a lot of ripe tomatoes and stuff, and I'm going to freeze a whole bunch, and it's a really good bolognese recipe. Next, Deliciously Ella Every Day. I've got 3 Deliciously Ella books. I've got this one, which is Deliciously Ella Every Day, and then With Friends, which I believe is called something different here in the US, but I got this one from the UK, so it's all in like Celsius, and it calls like eggplants aubergines and stuff like that, so the US version is probably better for most people in the US, but I couldn't wait. I love her cookbooks. They are not paleo, but a lot of the recipes can easily be converted. They're all plant-based vegan, and she's a really great plant-based vegan blogger who has all these recipes, and I just love what she can do with vegetables. So it's really taken our veggie game to a new level, something that we were used to doing, like roast broccoli and roast Brussels sprouts and roast cauliflower, and we were just getting into a rut. So using her books have really upped our vegetable game and made us really try new things that I love. You've seen this one in my top 5 paleo cookbooks, but it's Clean Eating with a Dirty Mind from Vanessa Barajas. Great dessert cookbook for paleo. The best brownies we've had. I mean, just all kinds of really great desserts in here. This is #1, my favorite book for trying to get any sort of dessert and still remaining paleo. Then I have a whole bunch of the Green Kitchen Stories cookbooks. I've got that one. Their regular cookbook, and then their travels one. And these are vegetarian cookbooks. Again, I use them mainly for trying to get ideas for veggies and new ways to push veggies that are not just the roast veggies that we got in a rut with. So a lot of times I use the Green Kitchen ones as inspiration for just thinking of new dishes, but also I make some of theirs, but it kind of helps me get inspired to use vegetables instead of just staying in the same rut. I hope that makes sense. Like, I like to look through cookbooks, and that looking through cookbooks inspires me, makes me want to try new things. I don't know if you feel the same way, but that's one reason why I love cookbooks so much. Then I've got all of Melissa Juwan's Well Fed books. This one's Weeknights. I also have her Well Fed 2 and Well Fed cookbooks, and these are just great, like Whole30 compliant, great, just all around paleo cookbooks. Weeknights is one of my favorite books though, because it has like complete meals with the main dish, like the meat and seafood or veggie with it, all made within 45 minutes or less. So they're just great if you don't really want to think about meal planning and just want to make something. Hands down, best book for that is Well Fed Weeknights, that one. Primal Cravings cookbook. I love this cookbook. We make the Chunky Monkey muffins and the empanada base out of here at least weekly. I do a different kind of empanada recipe. I use ground beef, taco meat, and all this kind of stuff other than what they actually say, but I love modifying recipes like that. But this one's a really good book. It's a little older, but it's a lot of really good recipes in that one. I've got Gwyneth Paltrow's It's All Good. Love this cookbook. Just another one to figure out good veggies, and she has a lot of good fish recipes in here as well. Paleo Cooking with Your Instant Pot. Jennifer Robbins' book. She's got this one, and she's got the new Affordable Cooking with Your Instant Pot right here. These are both great books for using with your Instant Pot and just like, you know, easy recipes to make, and they're delicious. And then I've got Michele Hill's Nutrition Stripped. This one's another good one for veggies, and some good smoothie recipes, just a bunch of other kind of like vegetarian, vegan kind of recipes. Again, I love just having these because I hate the rut of veggies, and I don't feel like the paleo cookbooks really have done a great job of elevating veggies. So that's why I love vegan cookbooks so much, for trying out new things. You do have to know pretty well, like in your mind, what's paleo and what's not, and what you can eat and when you cannot, to kind of convert them or to remove some items and know what's going to work if you remove items. But if you can do that, like, you can make some fantastic side dishes that will really sustain you, and make more like veggie-based, plant-based kind of meals with meat more as a condiment. Especially works if you're trying to eat a little less meat, which I know a lot of you are, because a lot of you always ask me how to eat less meat on paleo. And then we got the Indian Instant Pot Cookbook. I love this book. This one is Urvashi Pitre, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, but these are just delicious meals. And most of these are already kind of paleo. She has a lot of adjustments to make if you want to make it grain-free or even keto. So I love this book. Such great flavor you can get in your Instant Pot, like within minutes. This is the kind of thing, we make a beef curry in here, a keema, that I think you would have to take days to make in like a slow cooker and, like, you know, put it in your fridge and let it kind of meld for a while. That takes less than an hour to make in here. So good. One of my other favorite books, The New Yiddish Kitchen by Jennifer Robbins and Simone Miller. This one has bagel dogs and bagels and a whole bunch of just Jewish favorites. So my husband's Jewish, so I tried to make some of these things to kind of help my kids understand the heritage, and just because Jewish food is just great. I grew up in southern New Jersey, where there's a lot of really great Jewish delis, and so, you know, I just kind of missed a lot of that when I went paleo as well. And then I have this canning cookbook by Leanna Kristoff. This one has a lot of really good recipes for canning jams and condiments and things that I use throughout the year. Kids Cookbook by Jennifer Robbins. Love this one just because it's got kid-friendly favorites, and my kids, that we assume are celiac, can't have a lot of the things that many kids do. So we just try to make some of these to make a little bit healthier versions. Got Made Whole by Christina Kerp. This is a newer book that came out. A lot of these recipes are autoimmune paleo AIP compliant, which is really good. But they're really good. They're also keto, I think. Yeah. Anti-inflammatory keto paleo recipes, and there's just a lot of really great recipes in here. I've loved Christina's work. She blogs at the Castaway Kitchen, and so this is her newer book, and it's really, really good. The Healing Kitchen, which I think I talked about enough while I was doing autoimmune paleo. This is hands down my favorite book from doing autoimmune paleo that really helped me get through it. I mean, recipes from A to Z, like just any kind of meal, snack, dessert, anything that you need. If you're doing AIP, get this book. Latin American Paleo Cooking by Amanda Torres. I love this book because I love Latin American kind of food, and so she's translated a lot of it into things that you can eat, which is working really well for me right now since I'm trying my best to avoid corn as much as possible. So she has some corn-free variations on things that you usually would have to have corn for. So I really like this book, and there's some autoimmune paleo-friendly recipes in here as well. Practical Paleo by Diane Sanfilippo has been one of my favorite books forever. It's part textbook, so the beginning part is all like why paleo works, like a lot of sciencey kind of stuff. And then there's a whole bunch of recipes in the back, and the recipes are great, like the mustard chicken thighs. We make that a lot, and we've made it for years. This is the second edition. It's a hardcover. I used to have a softcover one that completely fell apart, so it's nice to have a new edition. Riggs, Real Food, Real Simple. This one's a good lighter kind of paleo. It looks kind of like plant-based, but it's both. It's paleo, but a lot of good recipes in here as well. Paleo Soups and Stews by Simone Miller. This one is excellent for the upcoming fall and winter. And this one has baguettes and bread bowls that are to die for. You would never know that they were really paleo, and they're so good. So, I mean, just for that. I mean, you can see the bread bowl back here. So good. Just these are the kind of things that you can sustain you on a paleo diet without having to go back to grains. Not saying you should have baguettes and bread bowls every day, but when you can have them every so often, then you can feel like you can get through these things and not have to go back to eating something that's going to make you feel like doo-doo. Chris Carr's Crazy Sexy Kitchen, another vegan cookbook for vegetables. The Art of Great Cooking with Your Instant Pot by Emily Sunwell-Vadari. This one is kind of like gourmet Instant Pot kind of meals, but they're really good when you want to elevate your dinner. I pull this one out a lot if we have people coming over, or if I just want to make something a little bit more special than just the typical, I don't know, ground beef dish. The Keto Paleo Kitchen by Vivica Menendez. I did a vlog about this a couple months ago with the cashew crusted salmon, the thing that I love so much. It was so good. Actually making that for dinner tonight, can you believe it? But this, I'm not keto, but these are some delicious recipes that I do turn to quite often. More canning stuff. This one's actually a magazine, Jams and Jellies. I like to use this for canning fruit for the winter. I have the original Earthbound Farms cookbooks, Food to Live By. Again, these are more for just like vegetable ideas, things that I can translate to paleo or that are already within the confines of what I can eat to elevate veggies again. Then I've got Danielle Walker's Against All Grain cookbooks and Meals Made Simple, and these are good. I don't use these as much as I thought I would. I like the meals, but I feel like some of these other cookbooks do a lot better job to me, but yet I love her chocolate chip cookie recipe, so one of these is out for that. And then there's a beef, kind of Asian beef curry that we make a lot in this other book. I'm kind of surprised because like everybody loves these books so much, but I like them, but they're not as much of a thing for me as some of these other cookbooks. Then the last book I have now is Eat Like a Dinosaur. Originally from the Paleo Parents, they're now the Real Everything blog. But this one's a lot more like kid-friendly kind of recipes, things that the kids really like to eat. And so my kids and I will look through this and the Paleo Kids Cookbook and figure out recipes that they want to have for lunch and just various things throughout the week. So that's it for my cookbooks. It's interesting, my mother-in-law asked me the other day, why would someone buy a cookbook these days when you can get all these recipes for free online? And it's a great question, but to me, I love the feeling of looking through a cookbook and sitting down and looking at the pictures, writing down which recipes which excite me. And I just don't get that same feeling online. I feel like online I get overwhelmed and I can go down that rabbit hole and spend hours and not necessarily get to what I want to see. But like when I look through a cookbook, it's just, I don't know, it transports me, just kind of like reading a book. And I really love flipping through the pictures, getting really inspired, making myself want to eat healthy, and making myself happy that I eat a diet that I can have all of these things. Even if I don't necessarily make them, just looking through the cookbooks really just makes me happy. So I don't know, I love cookbooks. I know a lot of you probably don't, but if you're watching this all the way to the end, you probably are like me. Let me know what kind of cookbooks you love, and if there are any that I don't have in my collection that you can't live without, because maybe I have to add it to my collection as well. I mean, I am a cookbook guide, why not, right? All right, that's it for today. Make sure you hit like and subscribe if you like this sort of thing and want to see more of it. And if you want to get the password to my paleo freebie library, where I have all kinds of e-cookbooks and all this kind of resources for you to go through your paleo journey, make sure you go to the link below and get the password for that. I will see you on Friday.